Hey everyone, this is Jason from Grand Slam in Loveland, Colorado. This is another week of to hold and not to hold. Kind of doing a double episode this week, trying to catch up on everything. I fell a little behind, and I'm caught up and I've read everything. So this will be for the last week of November that we just had. And there were 7 books that came out, 7 new number ones. So let's get right into them. And you can hear if I want to hold that book or if I do not want to hold that book in my hold file, because I'm trying to whittle down the amount of Marvel books that I've been reading, because man, Secret Wars, I read everything, and so I need to cut back on my Marvel reads. So here we are, Carnage number 1. It's Carnage. You have to like Carnage. There's a certain person that likes Carnage. It's the person that likes Venom. They don't necessarily have to like all the Spider-Man books. Carnage, Cletus Cassidy. Here's what I know about Cletus Cassidy. He showed up in the early 90s in issue 2 or 3 of Avengers. Sentry threw him into the sun, and is the Brian. So I was done with Carnage for the rest of my life. But they brought him back in all these miniseries, and now he's back with his own book. People like Carnage. He's a cool-looking character. He's one of the symbiote spin-offs, and so he's back and he's doing stuff. He's basically a mass murderer, psychopath, killer guy, and it looks like the good guys, which isn't S.H.I.E.L.D. necessarily, but they're trying to lure him out and try to fight him in combat. They think they have a solution to fight him. Carnage isn't a character, you can't sympathize with him. He's not a character that you're rooting for. You're like, oh man, I hope he murders people. Unless you do like to root for people that like to murder people, and I got nothing for that. So this is a book about people trying to deal with Carnage. Will this be a long ongoing series? I don't really know. Carnage series has never really last that long. So the covers look really cool. I'll say that much. It might be, I think the cover, yeah, you're watching me look at a cover. Yeah, it's Mike Del Mundo. He's an incredible artist. He did World. Carnage is a pass for me. I will not be getting this in my hold file, but you might like Carnage if you are into that type of book. Web Warriors, number 1. All right, I read Spider-Verse, so I'm like, boom, Spider-Verse, cool. Here's the problem, people. This is the reason why I won't get this book. They just did this whole thing with like the Secret Wars, and I was hoping they were sorting out this whole multiverse thing. It's the same reason why I didn't like Spider-Gwen, because Spider-Gwen's still in an alternate universe. And this Web Warriors team is about a team of Spider-Men that we met in, the team that we met that formed was during the Spider-Verse comic book of Secret Wars, and they decided to call it Web Warriors. And they're running around, and they're doing all this stuff, teaming up together, but it's like Earth 5480, Earth 75-1, Earth 3018. They're doing this whole Earth, they're doing the same tropes that they did during Spider-Verse, which made sense then because Spider-Verse was supposed to be chaos and crazy, and they're trying to get it all out of their system before they did Secret Wars. And then they did Secret Wars, which was even more chaos and crazy. And now we're back to chaos and crazy. And I was like, well, wait a second, why can't the Web Warriors just be in the 616 or whatever the new 616 is? I don't know. So it was hard for me to really sympathize with this book. It has Spider-Gwen. It has, it has Spider-Gwen. It definitely has Spider-Ham if you like Spider-Ham. The art was interesting. The one thing I thought that was interesting about this book is it seemed like the art shifted. It seemed like we had a different artist, or the artist was like working their style over. I'm actually just looking to see if they have different artists. It's David Baldeon is what it's credited for. So he does a really cool job of switching his styles up. They do go to the cartoon 60s version world, and there's some cool stuff in there. So if you like Spider-Verse, if you like Spider-Gwen and all the different Spider-Men, they're keeping that wackiness around. Get this book. I'm going to pass on it because I am not. That was my little rant about, like, please stop with the multiverse. I thought we were past that, but I have a feeling that that's not going to be the case. Illuminati, issue number 1. Another book that I'm going to be crying about. First off, Joshua Williamson. He's a cool writer. I read Birthright. Birthright's a sweet book. I think he writes that. And this book, I was kind of looking forward to seeing some really cool writing. He's writing Red Hood. And the other character that he teams up with here is Titania, who is kind of like a female Doctor Doom. She has female Doctor Doom powers. She was hanging out with Absorbing Man. And I don't know why I know this stuff, because it talks about it at the beginning, but that's kind of what's going on with this book, is introducing Titania to us and her getting into trouble. So I love this. Illuminati. I like this name. Illuminati, if you follow any of the Avengers stuff, the new Avengers title, which followed the Avengers, the antics of the Illuminati that got us into all these problems. They always get us in trouble. It's super cool. And there was a time where Red Hood was on the Illuminati as well, the dark Illuminati that there was, the evil people in Illuminati. I was really hoping. So, like, when you heard there was a book coming out called Illuminati, you're like, yes, I am all about this book. And now I'm reading this, and I'm like, no, I'm not interested in this version of the Illuminati. It's not even this version. It's kind of like a C-list villain group, or Red Hood and Titania and some of these other people. It doesn't really go over. I mean, it kind of introduces some of them at the end, and it's just a plethora of plethora. It's a plethora of characters I just don't really care about. And I don't know who this is supposed to appeal to, because I don't know any character. I don't have too many comic fans coming in my store going like, man, I can't wait for the next Red Hood book. Red Hood is a book. Red Hood was a character introduced to. I keep calling him Red Hood. I'm not actually sure if that's his name, because I'm so inundated with DC stuff. But there's nobody coming in and asking for books about this character to me. They're like, man, I got to track down these back issues and get the first appearance of him. And so I don't know. But the whole point of this book was it's kind of a disappointment. So I'm definitely not going to be putting this on my hold file. And that's very disappointing, because this name right here got me very excited. I'm always excited about the idea of the Marvel Illuminati. So hopefully they bring them back. Please don't let the Illuminati go. It's a very cool aspect of the Marvel Universe. The whole idea that the elite Marvel characters have to get together and make decisions secretly to figure out the fate of the Marvel Universe. It's such a cool idea, but with the unknown things of what happened to Reed Richards and Sue, who knows what's going on. So that's enough of that rant there. The Ultimates. This was a tough one for me to be, oh yeah, let's do it. So the Ultimates is obviously a book referring to the Ultimate Universe, and obviously we've combined the universes in. They've kind of come together. And it kind of has, there's a really interesting explanation at the beginning of something about what happened at the end of Secret Wars, which we still haven't seen end, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me. But Blue Marvel's a character in here, and he's involved, and I don't know anything about the Blue Marvel. I've been reading comic books for pretty steadily for the last 10 years, and I don't know who Blue Marvel is, so I'm failing as a comic book store guy. There's like a Marvel, you got Marvel character, you got Blue Marvel, Captain Marvel. You have two Captain Marvels technically, because Monica is she's Captain Marvel at some point. You got Black Panther, Miss America's in here, America Chavez, that is. This book just was not super compelling to me. It's kind of a pass. The art was cool. I think the art reminded me a lot of Lionel Francis Yu. So you might be into it if these are characters that you're interested in, the ones I just told you about. If you're interested in those characters, and they're kind of be dealing with this guy right here, Galactus. So if you like Galactus, if you want to see people dealing with Galactus and all new, all different Marvel, this might be the book for you. This is not the book for me. That is a pass in my hold file. Hawkeye, number 1. All right, well, I've been reading Hawkeye. Matt Fraction resurrected him, brought him another back in a new volume. It was about 5 issues. Really cool book. Ramon Perez, one of my favorite artists. And, of course, Jeff Lemire. Can't really do wrong. Jeff Lemire's top-notch writer right now at all companies concerned. So what is Hawkeye going? Well, it's another story just involving, it's about Clint Barton and Kate Bishop teaming up. And it's just a compelling duo. He's like the master, she's the apprentice, and, she's in love with him in that she respects the hell out of him. That's the reason why, she wants to be what she aspires to be him. But, she kind of loses respect for him pretty often because he's just kind of he's Clint Barton. Like, Clint Barton is not, the greatest person. I mean, he used to be a villain. He used to be a criminal. And so he's always kind of on the, he's always teetering on the edge of competency and incompetency and whatnot. So it makes for a great book to read, a relationship with someone, this person I adore and respect, but it turns out this guy's kind of an idiot sometimes. And so that's what the story is about. These two working together, having a falling out, and then getting back together. And this one, in the past, the previous volume of this was kind of about a prior story of Hawkeye with a current story, and now this is a current story mixed with the future of Hawkeye, and that's kind of fun. Although it's always weird when they do these like cut to the future stories, they don't, you're not solid. So, but Jeff Lemire is a great writer. I'm going to go on him with this one. I will be getting this book. It'll be on my hold list. Oh man, the all new, all different Wolverine. Laura is finally Wolverine. This is exciting. If you follow X-Men like I do, or any mutants, Laura was a character. She was introduced in Nyx years ago, and she's a female clone of Logan. Pretty cool. She's had a couple miniseries about her. They put her in the all-new X-Men. She's been on X-Force before. And she's been a New Mutant, Young Mutant. If you read all those books, she's kind of a caged animal. She's trying to unleash, and her development has been going on for 10 years as a character. And so finally, she gets her own title. Very exciting time. She's donning the suit. Really cool art in here. I don't think it's spoiling too much, but yeah, there it is. Boom, pops the claw. She's like, yeah, I'm here to do business. She's dealing with the loss of her mentor, Wolverine, who is still dead. Normal Wolverine is still dead. He's still encased in adamantium. And she is doing stuff on her own. She's fine. She's obviously going to Paris and fighting stuff. Oh, and that was a note that I was going to make. I read this after the Paris attacks recently, and so that was kind of weird, a little touching, because she's basically fighting shooters in Paris. So, I'm probably just stirring too many eggs there, but it was very compelling to me, or interesting, kind of predictive. I don't know where I'm going with this. This book was probably written 3 months ago. So, anyways, in the end, she's teaming up with. We see Angel in here, which is great. And Angel's got his cool cosmic powers with his cool wings. And her and Angel are a thing. If you haven't been reading X-Men, she and her are, Laura and Warren is a thing, and that's carried over into this book. I was very excited for this book. Everything about it is well done. Good art, good writing. Tom Taylor doing a good job for now. We'll see where this goes. I'm excited to read this. Those of you who might be bummed out about there being a female Wolverine, get over it. It's a good book. It's a good read. Last but not least, the all-new, all-different Avengers, written by Mark Waid, art by Andy Kubert, I think. Adam Kubert. It's that easy to get them mixed up. This is the book I've been telling. This is like the prestige Avengers book. It's got the coolest team. It's not super big. It doesn't have 18 people, but it's a brand new team. You got Lady Thor, and we've got Sam Wilson, Captain America. We've got Tony Stark, Iron Man. Vision's going to be on the team. And then we got Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, Nova, and Miles Morales, Spider-Man. This book is about the beginning of this team. How does this team start? What are the dire consequences? There's always dire consequences for the Avengers to come together, and we begin to see what those dire consequences are here. 2 major stories in here. The first story is just kind of dealing with the superheroes, and it's a little jokey. Mark Waid, he gets his jokes in. He likes to have his fun, and so they do some neat stuff in here. The second half of the book was an awesome backup story, which is about Kamala Khan and Sam Wilson meeting for the first time. I like the dopey love story. Is like, oh, he immediately has a crush on Kamala Khan. She's like, oh, it's come on. If you read Miss Marvel, she has like kind of crushes on every superhero she ever gets to work with. This book's great. Get this book. Please get this book. It's very cool. All right, real quick, I got a minute. So just recap. This is for my last 2 weeks. So books I am not holding. The Ultimates, The Illuminati, Web Warriors, Carnage, Nova. Please don't knock these over. Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. These will not be finding their way into my hold file. This is unfortunate. But you know what? There's still plenty of good books that I found, so I'm not really doing a good job of cutting things down. All new, all different Avengers, all new Wolverine, Hawkeye, Vision, which is I'm super stoked for issue 2. Extraordinary X-Men, Howard the Duck, Hercules, yeah, check out Hercules, Angela, Queen of Hell, and Drax by CM Punk. Best in the world. So there you have it, folks. That is 3 weeks worth of stuff in 2 episodes, and I just maxed it out to the very last second. I can't stop talking about comic books Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you on the flip side.